It's Fuck You Friday! And guess what? We have a whole bunch of stories this week. Oh my fucking god, do we ever. Alright, so the first story is Cleveland PD. Fuck you! Oh my god, did you fuck up or what? Okay, so on November 29th, a cop calls in, says, hey, I've been fired at the police headquarters. And all of a sudden, 60 plus police vehicles are on this one-car chase. It lasts 25 minutes. Now think about that for a minute. 60 cop cars take 20 minutes to stop one car. Just the one. Alright, so when they finally get this car stopped, they unleash 137 rounds into the vehicle. For 2 people. But they didn't find a weapon in the vehicle. Or on the persons. And they didn't find any shells in there either. And they didn't find any shells at the police headquarters where the original shot was supposedly made. And oh yeah, one cop hit the top of his car and fired 49 rounds. One cop fired 49 rounds. Now, depending on the gun, it could have had 15 to 18 rounds per clip, which means that the guy replaced his clip about 3 times. So he fires all the bullets in the gun, then he reloads and fires again. Then he reloads and he fires again. Does anybody have a problem with all this? Happened within 30 seconds. 30 seconds within the car being stopped. 137 bullets, 49 of which were by one police officer. Now, according to the police policy, only 3 cars are supposed to be in a police chase. But somehow, 60 plus cars and 115 individuals are being investigated on their actions on this day. Now, these 2 people, well, they can't find a fucking weapon. Yet they kept talking about, like, during the chase that they've been fired at and all this other stuff. You know what? It was you idiot cops shooting at yourselves. And if you think I'm joking about this, there's an article in the down below which will show pictures of bullets in the cop cars that were in the chase. Bullets from the fucking cops. Even the investigation shows that the cops shot at their own fucking vehicles when they were trying to shoot at the one vehicle. 60 fucking cop cars. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, when I was looking for this, because I read this in the paper initially, and I had to find it online. Okay? Because I make sure that I back up every story, every argument, every position I have with information in the down below. Now, when looking for this, the original article that was originally placed, right, people had commented saying, good job, Cleveland PD. You were awesome. You stopped these people from firing into random crowds. First of all, it wasn't a random crowd. Okay? It was supposedly they shot at one police officer who was alone at night walking into the police headquarters. Yet they still can't find any fucking ammo or gun. So what the fuck was he shot at with? Maybe it was a firecracker and he just saw the car go by and said, oh my god, we gotta chase these fuckers. I don't actually know. Either way, this is a massive fucking fuck up by the Cleveland police. You fired 137 fucking rounds into a car that had no weapon in it. Fuck you. You fucked up. Now 2 people are dead because all of you totally fucked up. Now, not only is this a huge fuck up as far as 2 people being dead, okay, because of your misconduct, because you couldn't follow your own fucking policies, But on top of that, this is the most opportune time to commit a motherfucking crime because none of you assholes are around to protect the people. You're after one car because supposedly a cop was shot at. Well, you know what? Somewhere down the lines, you had to see 59 cars in front of you going, you know what? I don't really need to be here. One of you should have had that fucking thought. Over 100 of you should have had the thought, hey, I've called in that I'm in the chase, but I should have called in and said, hey, do they need me in this chase? Or should I, I don't know, actually protect the people? I mean, if you already have 60 plus cop cars in on one chase, what the fuck are you going to do? How are you going to help the situation? You know, there's a reason we have a saying, too many cooks spoil the broth. Too many cooks in the kitchen? Get some of them the fuck out of the kitchen. You're going to have a whole bunch of people bumping into each other, which you had. They surrounded the car once it finally crashed at a middle school. And then you just fired at the fucking thing. Not only did you fire at it, you fired it so randomly that you shot at yourselves. You endangered your own fucking people. Jesus Christ, go fuck yourselves. You really fucked the pooch on this one. Like, oh my fucking God. Are you serious? I mean, really? I mean, this level of incompetence is just, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And it's not all of them are incompetent. Some of them legitimately fucked up. Maybe some of them are new. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and judge every single police officer. But certainly the leadership of the police department deserves the biggest fuck you of them all. Some of you, this is definitely a learning experience for you. Like, oh my God. You've got to be kidding me here. Really? Okay, now to the next story. This fuck you goes out to prosecutors. Specific prosecutors, not all prosecutors. This fuck you goes to them for a very specific reason. Okay, so there's this police officer, Officer Prade. And he's convicted of killing his wife, shooting her 6 times. Now he fights and he fights and he fights and he's in prison for 15 years. 15 years. Actually, the article I read said 21 years, but the online forum says 15. I'm pretty sure it was 21. The Plain Dealer, I think, is more accurate than this, but I think I'm actually looking at the Plain Dealer now. It says the Columbus Dispatch, but still. Okay, the 2 different papers say 2 different numbers. I tried looking for the Plain Dealer one. You know, fuck it, whatever. Anyways, whether it's 15 or 21, doesn't fucking matter. He spent a long fucking time in prison. We'll just agree on that one. Alright, so he spent a long time. And while he's in there, he's like, no, I'm innocent, motherfucker. I'm innocent. I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. I did not do this. I did not kill her. Nobody believes him. But he somehow manages to get a DNA testing on a crucial piece of evidence that the prosecutor used to convict him. The DNA says, hey, it's not his fucking saliva. It's not his DNA. So this bite mark can't be his. Not his DNA. You don't bite someone and then leave somebody else's spittle. It doesn't work that way. So the judge, now this is what's really fascinating to me. The judge goes so far as to find Prade innocent. Now, when you're accused of a crime, you can either plead guilty or not guilty. They don't ask you if you're innocent. That isn't relative. We're all guilty of something, okay? But they ask you, are you guilty or non-guilty of the crime they are accusing you of? Rarely does innocence come into question. But the judge goes so far when he's looking over this case, he says, he found him innocent, and prosecutors are still looking to convict him, to overturn the judge's, well, whatever you call it, because he, like, overturn or whatever, where he found him the man innocent. They're looking to overturn that. They're trying to fight it as hard as they can, even though it's clear that he didn't fucking commit the goddamn crime. And why are prosecutors doing this? These prosecutors are doing this for their own fucking careers. It was 20-something years ago. They weren't even prosecutors at the time. They weren't even the prosecutors. I'm relatively sure. I'm not absolutely 100% on that. I'm pretty sure 21 years later they were not the prosecutors who originally prosecuted him. But still, they're doing it for their own fucking careers. And even if they're not, I'm sorry, you're not looking for justice at this fucking point when it's clear the DNA evidence isn't his. I mean, it's like if someone's accused of rape, right? And they said, hey, I never even had sex with that woman. And they said, ha, but we have semen inside, so we know she had sex, and she says it was you, so we know it's you, and we're going to throw you in jail. And 2 years later, he says, yeah, but look at the DNA of the sperm, it isn't mine. And they go, yep, okay, the DNA is not yours, but we're going to try and keep you in jail anyway. Fuck that shit. But this is the same kind of thing we have now. We have some assholes saying we need to keep you in jail no matter what, even if you are innocent. So fuck you, prosecutors. You are assholes. Go fuck yourselves. My God, focus on different cases. Try to actually, look at cases and find out if people are really guilty or not. Trying to force everyone who comes across you into jail is not you doing your job properly. Go fuck yourself. Now, this Fuck You Friday story is about a little kid. So keep that in mind as I'm telling it to you. What we have here is a big fuck you to Loveland School, elementary school. Why? Because a little 7-year-old is playing a game called Save the World, where there's this box. And before all these evil things can get out and destroy the world, he throws a grenade in it, and he closes the box, and it shakes a little, and he hears a poof. And he saves the world by throwing in a grenade. Now, he got suspended for this because he used an imaginary weapon. And you ask, Bakar, did he pretend to throw the weapon at someone? Nope. Did he use a real weapon? No. Did he threaten anybody? Nope. He was just playing a game. All by himself, on a playground. But since he's 7 years old, and there was an imaginary weapon, that's for concern. Now, the administrators of this school, they say he still broke a key rule. What? What key rule? What key rule could there possibly be in using a pretend weapon, pretending by yourself where you threaten nobody, nobody feels harmed or threatened in the slightest way? What key fucking rule could there possibly be? Now, if this is your key rule, well, one, you can go fuck yourself, which is why it's called Fuck You Friday. But two, you also have your priorities really fucked up. Now, if he verbally threatens somebody, even in play, okay, maybe the kid didn't know he was playing. I can maybe possibly understand that one. If he was swinging around a sword, swinging around a stick, pretending it was a sword, maybe I understand that one. Because those can be dangerous, especially 7-year-olds on the playground. You can't have that kind of violence. I understand. But it was a pretend weapon where only him and his imaginary enemies were in play. So yes, he was violent against those imaginary creatures, which can't really be harmed because they're not real. But yeah, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck. He's a 7-year. Okay, not only is he a 7-year-old, but to quote him, I don't know why I was dispended. He can't even say the fucking penalty. He's not even old enough to where he can actually properly verbally say suspended. He says dispended. He's cute as hell. I wish this was my kid. I'd be proud as fuck. He's got a hero complex at 7 years old. He wants to save the world. Okay, what 7-year-old doesn't have a hero's complex? I mean, really. We all want to be the knights in shining armor. That's why we play with swords as little kids, you know, using broomsticks or real sticks or whatever. I mean, I actually had those Nerf sword things that were really fucking stupid because the moment you went slash like this with them, the styrofoam blade broke in half, and really you were supposed to hit the one of the 4 pop things. You know, hit the like button or leave a comment if you had this fucking thing. I mean, it was a real long time ago. I don't know how long those toys stuck around, but the goal wasn't to stab your opponent. It was to stab the clicky thing, the thing that protects your hand. There was 4 of them, and you had to stab it. So if you had that toy, definitely leave the comment, because I don't know how many people had it, but I love that fucking toy until, you know, it broke because it was fragile and stupid as fuck. But it was a cool, it was a cool concept. It just didn't work very well. It was a Nerf sword. I should probably Google that and put that in the down below if I can find it, which I will try to. So there's my promise there. In addition to that, yeah, you just read the story in the down below. This kid is cute as fuck. The school is dumb as fuck. Yeah, fuck you. You're a dumbass fucking elementary school. Fucking morons. And you're the ones teaching our kids? You're this fucking stupid and you're the ones teaching our kids? God damn it. A couple of days ago, I had a troll going through, leaving messages on one of my videos saying that anger is irrational and I need to seek anger management and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? In the story I'm about to reveal to you, there is most certainly a logical reason to be very angry at the 6 cops I'm about to tell you about. 3 cops were fired, one of which was a sergeant. Another 3 were merely suspended. Now, these 6 cops had 130 police policy violations, including ignoring emergency calls. One of the emergency calls that was ignored was a 5-year-old boy who was unconscious and locked in a car. And this did not get the police officer away from his girlfriend to go investigate. A 5-year-old boy unconscious in a car, in the trunk of a car. And the police officer was too busy with his girlfriend to go to the fucking boy's rescue. Fuck you just doesn't say it. It doesn't. He's a 5-year-old boy. He's unconscious. That's someone's son. That's someone's loved one. That's a lot of time, effort, energy, and emotion into a single person, to which this cop didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit about his job. He didn't give a shit about the boy. He didn't give a shit about helping people. He was too busy while he was on duty with his girlfriend. Story's in the down below. There's only so much I can go into it. But you 6 cops, fuck you, and then some. I mean, my God, people need help. It's your job to help them. You get paid to help them. You're on duty and you do nothing. Like I said, for this story, fuck you just doesn't cover it. It's just not enough. I don't have words, which is rare for me, for occasions like this. I mean, you've got to be out of your fucking minds. You have to be truly soulless, emotionless bastards Like I said, fuck you just doesn't cover it this week. It really doesn't. Oh yeah, by the way, the cop who ignored the 5-year-old who was unconscious and locked in the trunk of a car, he told the dispatchers he was on his way. That means they thought help was already on the way, and why send more?